All right, we will call the Ira School Board Tuesday, June 8th, 2021, 5 p.m. meeting to order at 5 p.m. Additions, changes, deletions to the agenda. I think we'll just add to also approve warrant number 31 dated 4/7/21. Would there be any other additions or changes?
Lance, I think we have to add warrant number 33 dated 6/2/21. Because I think 31 is already listed on the agenda, I do believe.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep, read the wrong date. Yes. So add warrant number 33 dated 6/2/21. Thank you, Chris. Any other additions or changes? All right, then moving on to the approval of the minutes from March 9th, 2021. Any questions, concern, additions to the minutes? Hearing none, I'd motion to approve. All in favor? Aye. Chris, we'll hand it over to you for the superintendent's report.
Thanks, Lance. So I did a few things to kind of go through. So all of the GRCSU schools are in the process of completing the SBAC exams, and those are for grades 3 through 8, and the Vermont Science Assessment, the VTSA, for the 5th and 8th graders. So we should be wrapping those up probably within the next couple of days. We'll have the results hopefully midsummer, and then once we have that, we can kind of provide families with that information for there. So AOE recovery plan update. This impacts, as you know, that's with next year and what the school is going to look like, and the years after. The state has asked us to put together a plan for this. So we have submitted our phase 2 and phase 3 to the state on June 1st. We're waiting to hear back from them as whether that's been approved or if there are any recommendations. So once we have that, we will be getting information out to our boards, and we'll also be looking to kind of condense it a little bit to a more palatable form for the public, and place that on our website as well. So just for feedback. Rick and Liz and the rest of the administrators in the area have been working on summer programs. You may have heard Senator Sanders discuss the push for more academic and enrichment programs in our schools this summer. So our administrators across the SU have done a nice job of working with our staff to put together programming for our kids. It's been great, and I do want to thank our staff members. It's been a very long, exhausting year. I know a lot of SUs are having a hard time finding staff who are willing to give up their summers, and that's understandable. It's been a long year. They're looking for a break. But like I said, we did have staff in each of our schools and each of our districts who find some time to kind of give back to the kids and work with the kids, and kind of either address some some deficits or some gaps, or improve some skills, or just do some enrichment, some fun things with the kids over the summer. So it was great to see, like I said, across the board in the SU, everyone stepping up to help out our communities and our kids. The vaccine update is, most we know that obviously by now all students ages 12 and older have are now eligible to receive the Pfizer vaccine. I do believe that was May 12th that occurred. This does impact if and we'll talk about this a little bit later. If Governor Scott does, we expect that to happen any day now, rescind his executive order, the state of emergency. It does impact our schools a little bit because we look at all of our students, or majority of our students, well, all of our students under the age of 15 are not fully vaccinated, while some of our 16, 17, 8-year-olds students who have opted to get the vaccination will be fully vaccinated. But it does impact our schools and what our plans look like moving forward for the remaining 5 days of school, or whenever Governor Scott makes that announcement. I'll talk about that in a second. So end of year recommendations. As I just said, we are expecting an order from Governor Scott, or for him to rescind that executive order. One second. I apologize. My allergies are really bad again today. So we do expect Governor Scott to rescind his, the executive order on the state of emergency. When that happens, it does slip. I guess the guidance from AOE and Department of Health does kind of go away. We go back to our regular statutes and legislative pieces that kind of guide our schools or govern our schools. what Secretary French and Dr. Levine have strongly recommended is that all of our schools stay under the current guidance, which is particularly around masks and physical distancing for the remaining days. So if Governor Scott would make this announcement, say on Friday, it would be for the last day and a half of school. And this was done out of two reasons, like in terms of why they had this strong recommendation. One, like I said before, large percent of our students right now are still unvaccinated. And some of our staff members are still not vaccinated either, but also in terms of the ability to pivot and shift and what this means for our schools. While we're all looking forward to kind of getting back to normal. I think we're looking forward to being able to enjoy our lives mask free. Whatever else, but I think it's best for us to still be responsible and stay safe just for the remaining part of the school year. So that is going to be our recommendation to the boards, is that we continue that for however many days we have left through the 15th. Next fall, in this same memo that Dan French gave us, he also outlined what next fall is going to look like. And I guess in a nutshell, it basically is going to be just almost a return back to normal. So it'll be in-person learning. As of right now, we do not anticipate masks being worn, particularly since the majority of our students at that time will be fully vaccinated. There is still some questions in regard to the younger students, whether or not vaccine will be available by then. I know that we're seeing that there are some clinical trials going on right now for those vaccinations for the younger students. So whether or not be available by early fall or late fall, still yet to be determined. But as of right now, the early indication is that masks will not be worn, and particularly that is because by that time, majority of our staff and population will be fully vaccinated. So it does lessen the concern. So that now individuals will have the right to still wear masks in schools if they so choose, but there will not be a mandate like it was this year. As another potential or another big shift will be physical distancing. There will be no physical distancing in schools. So, like I said, students will be back to normal seating arrangements. Cafeterias will be back open. Things along those lines. So that is the expectation for the fall. There has been a question about remote learning, whether or not we will still be offering that. And the short answer is no. We will not have a remote option, at least offered through the SU. If families still are concerned about the safety or well-being, we can assist them with, say, a homeschool or home study option outside, if you can do every other year. There is also potential for a flexible pathway, but that's a more complex process. But we will not have a remote option in place like we did this year for the families. And the last thing, just about school meals, because I know we've been providing meals throughout the course of the year, in this, state funds and federal funds for free. We're going to continue that through the summer as well. So we're trying to set up, a plan or program in each of our buildings, each of our districts, where families can come pick up a meal if they so choose. So if families within their communities are interested, obviously they can reach out to their local district, local school, try to set that up, and then we'll set the proper accommodations. So that's all I have for tonight. Any questions? Okay.
No? All right. Thank you, Chris. So we'll turn it over to Louis for the financial discussion.
Good evening, everyone. So I have two items on the agenda for today. The first one is the tax anticipation note. And so that information was in your packet. So this is a loan that we take out every year to provide cash flow to the district to cover bills on July 1st. Ira is in a little bit different of a situation than the other districts. We've taken out this loan for the last 3 years. There's no cost to take it out, but we have not used it based on surplus funds that we've had on hand. And the fact that you don't have payroll also limits the need for this loan because we don't have any payroll to cover starting July 1st. The main cost that you do have to cover starting July 1st would be your SU assessment, and then tuition invoices start rolling in, usually September, October timeframe. When we have a low surplus or no surplus, which provides cash on hand, it would be important to have this money so that we do have some cash to use for those purposes that I just described. So the loan documents that I provided, it's a loan with a rate of 1.55%. And it's a $82,000 loan. It's a line of credit, so we take the money out as we need it, and we can repay it when we no longer need it. And I review this on a regular basis with all of the districts to make sure that we're minimizing our interest expense. Compared to last year, the rate has decreased. It was 1.83% last year, so it's a little bit of a savings. But yeah, so I recommend you approve the line of credit, just to have these funds on hand in case they're needed.
Mary, do you have any questions?
No, if you want me to make a motion to approve it,
I would love that. Thank you.
okay. I consider it done.
All right. All in favor of the motion to approve our line of credit for 82,000? Aye.
All right, and then the second item also in the packet was the year-end forecast, which was updated as of May 25th. I'm currently estimating that we're running a surplus of approximately $23,000, and this is basically just due to some tuition savings that we have in mainly elementary, at the elementary level. So this could change slightly, but it should not change significantly. If any surprise invoices pop up, as well as the discussions that we're going to have at our next meeting could have some potential impact, but we should still end the year with a surplus.
Good news. Thank you. That's it, Louis, for your piece?
That's all I have for tonight, unless there's any questions regarding the financials.
No, not for me.
Well, I don't know if any questions popped up when you saw that last warrant, but there is a check being paid to the town of Ira, and that was just an overpayment on the tax dollars that they owe us. And this happens every year. So the treasurer pays us the full taxes for the year in October when you pay your taxes, when the taxpayers pay their taxes. However, the state comes out with an amount that needs to be paid by the town to the school at the beginning of the year, but then they revise that later in the year based on prebates that are given. So each year the town usually overpays us, and then we just issue a refund check at the end of the year once we have those final numbers.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification. Barring no other financial discussion, we have no old or new business listed, no public available for public comments. Looking ahead to our next meeting, that would be September 14th at 5 p.m. And I'm assuming that this would be a return to an in-person meeting in September.
That'd be correct.
Yeah. We'll see if anything changes, but I guess 5 p.m. still sound like the preferred time for the new school year. That still works for everyone? All right. Then we'll go ahead and adjourn at 5:14 p.m. and reconvene, Mary, at 5:30 for our next meeting.